Hey guys, today I'll be talking about how to prepare your python or any snake really for its shed. Okay? This is my python. He's going into shed. He's starting it now. I realized it yesterday. I noticed his eyes were getting a little blue. I wanted to check it out today and they're foggy now. So I will show you how to prepare a snake or any kind of, well, like any reptile you have for shedding. Me, whenever he was younger, I would use a normal like bowl like that and I would soak him in there. Except I would put something in it so he won't drown. But now since he's big enough, I grab one of these. Grab one of these decent sized bowls. One second. I know you can't see it fully. A decent sized bowl where if he's in it, he takes up about most of the bowl. What you want to do, because if your snake's eyes start getting foggy around this point, you want to just fill it up with water. That's all you want to do. At first you want to make sure the water is warm for him or her. But when they're in this state, you might find them soaking in the water bowl, staying really alone and by themselves a lot. One second, I got a cut? Oh, I thought my snake had a cut on him, but it was just aspen. Wet aspen. He was in the water bowl with it, so it looked dark, and I thought it was like a deep cut. Because I don't really let him outside with me, and he would sit on the ground and move around a bit. Then I would soak him in case he got any mites, even though we use stuff to get rid of them all the time. But whenever the water is warm, you want to make sure it's warm though. But for this, you want to start spraying down their tank. What I do is I get little paper towels, make sure they're damp, and I will put them into the corners of his tank, like they're like soaking wet paper towels. I put those in the corners of his tank underneath the aspen so that aspen can get wet. And then because of the heater is going to make that evaporate and make his tank super humid for him. You also want to find something rough. You're about to get ear raped, okay? I would like, yeah. I use sticks like this. They're nice big ones. I just go outside and I grab these. But I make sure they're rough. I feel them. Make sure they have a lot of surface on them. I make sure they have everything that could help him when shedding. But when your snake's going to shed, you might notice they get a nice bluish tint over them. But if you get something like the Ghost morph for a ball python, they will always look like this. So for them, you'll notice it gets really blue. Like it will get like baby blue on these guys, and the whole body will be blue. And if you notice, his eyes are very, very foggy. He does not focus on anything. And look, he's about to strike, actually. I saw him right there, curling up. But if you move him around a lot, he will start flicking his tongue way too much because he can't see right now. Well, he can, but it's very dull for him. We want to make sure the water's warm, not boiling hot. I think I was gone for too long. Now it's... You want like about lukewarm water. So I'm going to fill it up to about halfway about how big your snake is, like about halfway of them. Like mine is about here, and I just kind of hard to do this one hand. But look, he wraps around stuff. Give me my Mountain Dew. You want to make sure if you're to put your hand in it for 10 seconds and it does not hurt you, it's okay for them. Okay, it's the way I tell. If you can do that for at least 10 seconds, it's not going to hurt them. Want to pick them up, put them in here. Mine hates this, okay? So what I have to do, I have to go and keep him in here, and I have to have like a towel ready, okay? Like I got this ready for him. It's my snake towel. It has stains all over it because he's a snake and he makes a mess by spilling things all the time. Yeah, but mine, I have to fight with mine a little bit. It's kind of stupid, but whenever you get them in here, I'll let it drop the camera for a bit because this is gonna have to be fast for me. Whenever we get them in, okay, it should look like that then, but you want to have one side like that, which is still covering it, keeping him in, and you want to make sure you can at least see his head, and you can like spread it out where it's not touching it, because as soon as this touches, the whole thing's gonna get wet from the weight of the wet part. So I try to get something like, I have a dog food can right there. I spread the rag out as far as possible where it looks like a full flat top right here. I make sure I can see his head at all times. If he wants to move his head, I can go look out over here and lift it up every now and then. But you want to keep them like this for about 30 minutes, constantly checking on them, because if you have a normal ball python like me, they don't exactly like water. They hate it. Well, mine hates water. I can't put him in it or else he freaks out. But I'll go in my room, show you how I set up his tank. I've done that to him so many times, he's used to it. Okay. Hell is my remote at? Where's the other one at then? Is the bolt dead? Oh no, it's just unscrewed. Okay, this is how I set mine up, okay? I have a water bowl in the center. You want to have it in the center. His hide's right here, but today the heater was right here because he was staying over there. Because whenever your snake moves while they're about to go into this mode, wherever they are really, or if they're moving at nighttime and it starts getting daytime and they can't see anymore, they will just stay right there. So you want to keep them kind of far away from that, and I'm just grabbing some really rough rocks. Decently rough rocks. You can buy these from like Home Depot and stuff. They're like the lava rocks, which everybody was probably obsessed with when they were a kid. I'm gonna dig out a little hole right here, and yes, it's damp down here because this is where I put his stuff. And on the rest you can just drop around here. Now that's not enough. That's not close to enough. This is where my rocks are, and if I use fossilized coral for him, I found this grainy, very grainy fossilized coral, and it's, as you can see, like super rough. It's like sandpaper. I put that with this side, right I'm here with the tubes down, so that he can just rub against it. I put that here for him. I put nothing in the corners for him. I moved the water bowl as far away from the main spot as possible. And move that, or else that's gonna get bad. Yeah, and I make sure the water underneath his bowl is damp as hell, so that when his shedding comes, I move the water bowl. It's right next to his hide, right there. His hide's right there, his water bowl's right there, and I know I've horrible lighting in my room. It's not my fault. One second, I'm gonna fix that. Okay, I think that's better. And I constantly try to replace his bedding. I make sure the inside of his hide is really damp and everything. So for that, I use a simple Mardi Gras cup. And if you don't have a Mardi Gras cup, just go and grab a cup that you never use. I use this kind of bedding, the Aspen snake bedding. I have 2 bags of this. Just take out a handful. And then I sprinkle that, a light, small layer over that. Then I give the rest of his hide like a little redo on it. I want to make him seem like his hide always looked this way. Now I need to go check on him again, making sure he did not get out. He does that a lot. He commonly escapes from these. But I want to make sure his head is above water. If his head is below water, take it out, because that will be a big problem later on. And in the end, you should have a couple rough rocks in there. Just trying to find stuff. Most of the stuff in here is fossils or random stuff like this. Like, this is fossilized wood. So is this. I never put that in there. That's a clam. This is just crap red quartz. And if you do what I do by just finding rocks, like this is another piece of coral right here. I put this in his stuff too. But since it has a sharp side right here, this is kind of sharp, I put this into the corner, like that, where the corner matches up with a rock like that, where it cannot get in. Never put agates in there, or as different people announce it, agates, whatever. Don't put these in here. These are like arrowheads. These will kill him. But if you don't have these, you can just go outside, find some trees like I said, and get that done. But I have a whole assortment of stuff to put in there for him. I have a whole assortment of stuff. I also collect snake skin. I have water moccasin skin right here. Dried water moccasin skin. I need to find a place to put that. But this is going to be coral, because you want to put stuff like this. I try to put it like that, but since it's a sharper piece, it'll go in the corner right here. Right there, and I will move this piece. Look at that. So when your snake comes out, he can wrap around that. But you want to make sure you're not putting in anything sharp or dangerous. And I am using a Zilla cage. It's like 20 gallons, I think. I don't know. But I have locks on mine. I have one here. One here. I know you can't see it. I'll try to move right here. One here. One there. And another one right here. Just to keep him safe. And in case that is not enough, I have one here where I can just put in like a pin or something. Or like something like that metal piece right there. I can always put that in, but it doesn't fit. So I have to get something smaller for it. And you constantly want to check on him. You want to keep your room around 90 degrees. Okay, and I don't have anything in here to tell the temperature. That's because he broke it. But I'm using a 200 watt heater in this. Fuck, this ceramic's hot. But you want to make sure the wire's not touching it or else that can melt. But that's what it is, a black heater on. I like to keep stuff in there. So just look around, see if you find anything. If you find anything, like I have random stuff I can just put in there. I do that for him. I make sure everything's set. I constantly hydrate him by, again, I get a cup. I pour the water into the corners where they would soak down, and they will move all the way across there in the corners. And if I put one here, I don't put one there. It's either I put it there or here. But depending on how much stuff I have right here, because this is just the walls, okay? Like that all is wall, because that is uneven, and its hide does not fully connect to the glass. So I had to fill in the sides with it. And I usually put a lot right here so that I can soak into everything else, and you can have like a moist wall right there. And whenever this happens, since he's supposed to be fed in 3 days, so whenever this happens, I'm going to give you some tips on this, because this is what happened to me. I don't think you can see that, but I have a scar on my thumb. And it was pretty deep. I was bleeding for a little while. Like a flap of my skin was off, and it was just horrible. And that was because I was not paying attention. I treated him as if he could still see. So when this happens, you want to get a big pair of snake tongs. Like these are mine. You don't want to hold them on the grip right here unless yours is super big. If so, hold them at the very back of the grip here. You want to get a firm grip on it like this. Hold the rat or mouse, whatever the hell you feed it, because I know some people have these huge fucking Burmese, which I want one, but in Louisiana you have to have like 20 permits for them. And fortunately, I have an autistic cat in my house. She was hit by a car and she has mental damage. She's actually retarded. But you have to hold them like this, get a firm grasp on them, make sure you do not let go when the snake bites. I know some people are used to that, but if you live feed, this is all you need to do for a live feed, okay? Either you can go get a pencil, because your snake won't be able to fight back if the rat bites it. You want to go get a pencil, you want to drop it in there, and as soon as your snake finds it, you want to find the rat's mouth, stick the number 2 pencil in there until the rat is dead, okay? But if you're feeding mine dead, even though mine's raised on mine's super aggressive when it comes to feeding, which is why I got bitten twice. But here's how I feed mine. I open up this, I pull him out, I move his water bowl so he can't drown. I move this far to the back over there. I move the rock if he's shedding, I move the rock. I put the rock up on top of the screen. And yes, I know I have a screen. I'm trying to get a better one. But unfortunately, these things cost like $400 for the one I want. The one I want has like sliding right here, no roof, just slides. And what I do when I'm feeding mine, since I just pull mine's head right out, I move any kind of rocks that are rough. Because if your snake strikes and brushes up against that, most likely from the force of, depending on how big it is, it will lose a couple scales and may break something. But you want to go and pull his head out, move any rock like this. Like I move that, put everything that he can hurt himself on out of his reach. Let's say this water bottle cap was the rat. One second, I need to get it on. Let's say this was the rat's tail. I would stick that in like this. I would wiggle it in front of his face. I would tap his face with it. As soon as he bites, I would go and hold the rat, wiggle it for a little bit, and then let go. I would do it just like that and make sure he has a firm grip on it. Because whenever you want to make sure he has a firm grip on it so he does not let it go. And also because of this. If you walk next to your snake tank, since mine's right next to my door, like that, and super hot fucking today, I have fans on, I have the AC on, I have 2 fans in my fucking room, and a big one on, and it's still hot as hell in here. But with this, if you don't want to walk right next to your snake's tank when they're shedding, especially after 2 days after they're done eating, they will go and like vomit that back up, and you don't want to know what 2-day half-eaten rat looks like. It's nasty, and you have to do a huge clean out on the tank, because when it comes out, there's like bile on the glass and stuff. So you have to take him out, take out all the stuff. So whenever you open up your door, since I have dogs, I have to let them in one at a time to feed them, even though they're supposed to go in twice. They're supposed to go in all together. And then, like like if I was gonna open up my door, I would open it up slowly. I would walk in, I would stay by my dresser, and I would let him know that I'm there, and I would not just do like this. I would not just walk in like that, because then he'll curl up in a ball, start regurgitating his food, get freaked out. He might bite you if you try to calm them down, by the way. So you don't want to make sure that can happen. But you want to keep them in here for 30 minutes or until the water gets about cold. So you always want to feel the water. Yeah, mine's getting cold. Want to do this on a daily basis until they start shedding. As soon as they start shedding, you don't have to do it anymore unless they are a horrible shed. Like, he used to have shedding problems whenever he was smaller, but then since I've been soaking him 24/7, it's been getting a little better. And I'm gonna go and open this back up. And now with this, some snake owners just throw their snake in like that. I try not to do that because these edges can actually hurt them. So I like to put him in like a potato, kind of like that. I like to show him where his hide is whenever he's in this state. He's gonna stay like that for a little bit when he sees his hide. So you can try to like adjust him in there like that. And when they realize the darkness level in there, since the light's shining on it, he won't like it in there. So I'm gonna turn that off. Hopefully you guys can see it there. I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't. But now since the light's off, he's going to do much better in there. He's going to wrap up, stay nice, but he will most likely, whatever snake you have, since mine's a python, they're nocturnal and they won't go the fuck to sleep. They will stay like this, and they will only come out at night. So whenever this happens, you want to make sure that they have a fresh water bowl, they're hydrated because you're most likely going to be asleep. But since I'm a teenager, I stay up all night and all day. I sleep for like 3 hours and I'm done. But I have a specified little snake pan, whatever the fuck this is. And whenever you do it like that, your snake should be done shedding. And if your snake does have shedding problems, put a thin piece of wood in there, like a small little plank you can buy at like Home Depot or something. Put it in there into one of those and fill it up with water where it's floating, so that it's going to be above your snake, but your snake can always find that and put his head on it. Or wait, no, you don't want to put it like where it's above them. Like, put it to where their eye level is. It's what I do when mine's like that, and mine's smart enough to go and put his head on there, but only his head. Other snake owners might not be able to do that, so I don't recommend doing that. Mine does that because I see him drink water, he dips his whole head in there. That's why I do it to mine. You guys should just do it to halfway of their body, soak them in for 30 minutes a day if they have shedding problems. Hopefully it will get better, and I'll talk to you in my next racist / communist misogynistic video.